Hi guys, how you doing? I hope everybody's okay today. Enjoying the weather. It's very nice outside. I'm stuck indoors doing some videos for you. Anyway, let's crack on. Do you remember 2 days ago I put out a video where I went to the Tommy Robinson rally here in Liverpool, in Bootle, and I reported on that event as best that I could as an impartial observer. In that video, I made a statement. I said this. Now, I'm not saying that James did or didn't deserve what he got. I wasn't close enough to actually see and hear everything that went on. But after reviewing the video that I found online, which I've added to my video, showing that incident and the woman turning around and saying that James Goddard said that Liverpool's a shithole, I've listened to that carefully over and over again, and I cannot hear anywhere that James Goddard actually said that Liverpool's a shithole. And the reason that I said that is because I genuinely did not hear James Goddard say anything. I genuinely didn't hear him. If I had heard him, I would have said that to you, but I genuinely didn't, which is why I asked in the comments if anybody has a link to a video or anything like that, and to let me know. Well, today I have come across a video. I was doing some research, having a look through YouTube, and I came across a video today where James Goddard is heard saying this.
I should apologise, I did say Liverpool was a shithole.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to rectify my statement. Obviously, I can only base what I say on what I know at the time, okay? And that's exactly what I did. I did not hear him. I made that clear that I wasn't close enough to hear him and that I didn't hear it on the video, which I didn't. However, he's quite clearly stating here that he has in fact said that. So I wanted to rectify that and let you guys know that I'm not just going to hide anything. If something comes to light, some fresh evidence or whatever, then I'll let you know. So if I'm wrong, I'll rectify it. And I wasn't actually wrong, per se. I didn't say that he didn't say it and that was it. I just said that I didn't hear it. And I didn't. So I didn't lie to you, but this has come to light and I wanted to share that with you. So he says that Liverpool's a shithole. Now, I still stand by what I said after that, and that is, who cares? Everybody is entitled to an opinion. The people from Liverpool, I know for a fact many people in Liverpool say Manchester's a shithole. So if it's okay for you to say that Manchester's a shithole, for example, why is it not okay for somebody else to say Liverpool's a shithole? It's called freedom of speech. All of those lefties that were going on about freedom of speech and all the rest of it. But yet when somebody says something and they don't like it, and it's not just that way round, okay? Because when somebody says something to the Tommy Robinson supporters that they don't like, they will retaliate. And I'm saying that why bother retaliating whatever side you're on? If somebody says something you don't agree with, and what? If you can't have a debate with that person, then there's no point in talking to them. So you may as well just ignore them and carry on with your day. But yeah, he said it, and I wanted to bring that to your attention if you hadn't seen or heard of that already. But as I say, no, who cares what he thinks of the town? When he goes on to say in that video that he said it because he was angry, there's no need to justify why you've said something. I know why he's saying he said it because he was angry, is because he's trying to be apologetic about it. But if you've got a view and opinion, don't apologise for it. You know what I mean? If you believe something, don't apologise for it. You say it because you believe it. And if somebody doesn't like that belief or that view that you have, then it's tough shit, isn't it? I mean, when I got arrested at Crosby Police Station in February, I said this.
It's Merseyside, mate. Stop here. No, soon enough.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm up there.
Where from?
Off from Essex.
Ah. I've been to Essex.
No, it's shit.
You swore your own footage there, mate. Don't put that out to Essex people. They won't like it. You just slagged off Essex.
And do you know what? I stand by it. I think Essex is a shithole. I haven't got people threatening me and you know what I mean, and chasing me down the road. So the reason that happened, the reason that he got chased is clearly because he's more high profile. Do you know what I mean? And when somebody's high profile, people react differently. Do you know what I mean? If it was just some little scally that went from anywhere that said Liverpool's a shithole, they'll probably get a bit of abuse back and then that'll be the end of it. But because James Goddard is James Goddard, everybody chased him and tried to get hold of him and sack him. Now again, I'm not sticking up for James Goddard the same as I'm not sticking up for Tommy Robinson. I'm not sticking up for any of them. I'm impartial and I'm just concerned about the way people behave, okay, and the rights that we have as people. No matter who you are, we all have the same fundamental rights. And I will stick up, I will always be on the side of what's right, rather than an individual. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I clarified that part of the video with you and let you know that I'm not going to hide anything from you. If something comes to light, I'll share it with you. The second thing today is that I have a Police Abusing Powers Twitter page, which I literally only just set up the other day. I'm following all of the police forces. Well, I'm following all of the local and the big police forces, and I'm following the local newspaper as well. Because if I can get, if I get a tweet that something's happening locally to me, then I can get down there with my camera. Do you know what I mean? And I can do some documenting. And the Liverpool Echo is our local newspaper here. And in the Echo, over the last couple of days, so over the last 24 to 36 hours, they've made a few tweets about what happened at the rally. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to show you what some of these tweets were. My response to those tweets, because I've left a comment on some of these tweets, and the responses that I've got from people as well, because I thought I'd make Martin famous. You'll see who that is in a minute. Now, this is the first one that I've got. Okay, former Deputy Mayor Anne O'Brien is seen being dragged along the floor by police while out protesting. Now, I've not replied on this one. I'm just showing you the headlines that they've got. Okay, so former Deputy Mayor Anne O'Byrne, so I keep calling her Brian, but Anne O'Byrne is seen being dragged along the floor by police while out protesting. She is actually, I'm not sure which one of these she is, to be honest. I don't know who she is, but she's a Liverpool former deputy mayor. But she was seen being dragged along the floor. This here, guys, this area here, this is a road. This was after Section 14 was imposed, which means that you have to go and be in a specific area. If you're not in that specific area, then you are liable for arrest. Okay, it's to prevent serious incidents happening, basically. All right, so if a chief inspector or an inspector feels that violence may occur, they will impose a Section 14 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act, I believe it is. These people were asked to move multiple times, I might add. It's in my video. You can see this. They're all there. This is literally at the point where I'm standing next to the Unite members, and one of them's asking a police officer about Section 14. I explained to him what Section 14 is, and then I thought, fuck this, I'm not hanging around this side, I'm going back over where I was to get a better view. And as I walked past, all of these people were sitting in the middle of the road. Now, they were blocking the road from traffic coming in and out. Simple as that. They were blocking the road from traffic coming in and out. Eventually, the police tried to move them. I saw the police, they did go hands-on, okay, but it was more okay. And you know me, I'm not going to sugarcoat it when it comes to the police. But initially, the police went over, they kind of just touched their hands on the people's shoulders and just said, come on, you need to move. But they weren't pushing and they weren't pulling at that time. It took about half an hour before the police turned around and said, you know what, we've had enough. We need to move these people. And so they physically moved them. Anne O'Byrne put in a complaint to Merseyside Police, who responded within 24 hours, I might add. Okay? I don't know how many of you have put complaints into the police, but they certainly don't respond within 24 hours to a complaint. I'll tell you that much. She has put a complaint in because she was pulled out of the road. She could have been arrested. She could have been arrested. I believe that everybody should follow and be, accountable for every law that's out there. Not the ones that break our human rights, so to speak. Okay, I don't agree with police abusing their powers to get their own way. But when a Section 14 is in place, it means that if you're not in a designated area, you're liable to arrest. So every one of these people could have been arrested, and the police didn't. All the police done is try to pull them out of the way. Some of them then fought back, and those were the ones that got dragged off and taken to the police vans. They're the ones that fought back. But the rest of them just got dragged out of the road onto the pavement. And she's put in a complaint to Merseyside Police because they took her out of the road because she was being obstructive. I don't understand it. And I hope to God, in this case, that the police turn around and say, I'm sorry, Anne, but fuck you. Because they, in my opinion, they did what they had to do. They weren't aggressive at that point. The police were not being aggressive with that crowd of people. They simply tried to move them out of the road, okay? People live down that road, and I'm going to go through some comments in a second where somebody is saying to me about the road was being blocked by people. So, so they were causing an obstruction. And that being the case, the police were perfectly within their rights who have arrested them all. But they didn't. They only arrested the ones that got belligerent when they tried to pull them out of the way. Where is it? I did comment on some of these, so I'll show you those comments as well. It's running a little bit slow, so I apologise. Right, this one here, anyway. Ms. Williams at X, Ms. _ Williams X. More attacks at Mersey Police were brilliant and very professional. So she thinks that the police were brilliant and professional. Personally, I don't. Personally, I feel that the police allowed things to escalate. And I'll explain why I think that at the end of this video, because I'm going to show you the layout of the area where we were and how the police allowed things to pan out. So I'll show you that in just a few minutes. This guy here, Martin Quirk, at Martin Quirk on Twitter, as his handle. As a resident, I can state that we were mostly happy with how the police coped with such an unnecessary and pointless event, which obviously cost the taxpayers heavily, yet try getting the streets cleaned or traffic pollution monitored and see how much money is available then. Which, that is a fair comment, but the problem that I've got here is all of these people, if you can see this here, all of these people here, this guy, they were on the side of Unite and Antifa. They were from them groups. The people that got dragged off were from Unite and Antifa. Okay, this guy as well. As far as I know, nobody from Tommy Robinson's side got taken by the police. Okay, they didn't get. I didn't see anybody get moved or arrested or anything like that. But all of these people that got dragged away are, and this guy as well, are people who were with Antifa and with Unite. See this. I mean, that woman there is the one that had her hair. She was being pulled by her hair. Look. There you go. He's got her hair there. Now that is too much force, definitely too much force. Absolutely, it shouldn't even have hold of her hair, okay? If you're gonna pull her out of the road for her safety and to clear an obstruction, then, and you have to pick her up because she's refusing to get up like a belligerent child, then, you know, arms and legs, take her over, put her down. Police officer that had her by the hair there was bang out of order. But on the other hand, she shouldn't have been sitting in the road being an obstruction in the first place, in my opinion. Right, then we'll move on to the next one, because we'll go on to where I commented. Now this one is, the incident happened as the city councillor was protesting against a visit from MEP candidate Tommy Robinson. So I replied, perhaps if she wasn't sitting in the road and obstructing traffic and failed to move when asked, she wouldn't have been moved by force. And again, you know me, I won't stick up for the police if they're in the wrong, but we all have to abide by the same laws. And if somebody says there's a section 14 in place, you can't be there, okay, then you've got to move. Simple as. If you're disobeying an order, if you do something wrong, okay, then you have to put your hands up and say, do you know what, fair cop, I fucked up, take me away or whatever it might be, give me a slap on the wrist, whatever. But this guy here, Martin Quirk, turns around and says to me, why does the same rule not apply to Yaxley Lennon's thugs when they blocked the entrance to our street and prevented our families from being able to visit us on a Sunday afternoon? Guys, let's go back to the beginning here. They're the ones that were blocking the road. They were sitting here, right? That's exactly where they were sitting, just by that cross there, okay? That's the exact spot they were sitting. And they were Unite members and Antifa members. They were nothing to do with Tommy Robinson's lot. All of Tommy Robinson's lot were over here on this grass, okay? That's where they all were. You may have had one or two wandering about, but everybody was over here and congregating over here. This is where Unite and Antifa were sitting in the middle of the road. So this dude goes on, you know, as I say, he's going on about Tommy Robinson's thugs blocking the road. They weren't. Martin Quirk, you're a fucking moron, okay? I don't know where you're getting your information from, whether it's second-hand or third-hand or whatever, but clearly you haven't got a clue what you're talking about, mate. So I said I was documenting the whole thing as an impartial observer. Tommy supporters all congregated on the grass. Those at the entrance to the road were the lefties. Trust me, I'm impartial and I've got it all documented on my channel. Then I told Liverpool Echo that they should be reporting unbiased news. I was at the rally, not as a supporter, but to provide a real look from an impartial standpoint. The same group of people you are portraying as victims threw a bottle that almost hit me. Most of the issues caused by lefties. And that's true. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was either 50-50 or no trouble at all. But because the police failed, Chief Constable felt that it was prudent to allow both of these opposing parties to be within metres of each other. What a fucking idiot you are, Andy Cook. Do you know what I mean? Even I could have managed that event better than you. And then we got Martin Quirk saying again, I'm a resident and both me and my neighbour were threatened verbally by Tommy supporters simply for exercising our right to freedom of expression. The right that they used to block our street without warning and completely preventing our families from visiting us. As I've already shown you there, guys, right, they were the lefties that were sitting in the road. It's clear as day on camera, on my footage, go and have a look. But for him to turn around and say that is just absolutely ridiculous. But it shows you how brainwashed people are. It shows you that people can't be impartial, generally. So I went on to say that only people I saw blocking the road were Merseyside Police, Unite supporters and Antifa. Why do you think Anne O'Byrne was dragged out of the road along with other supporters? None of them were Tommy Robinson supporters. I'm not for any of those parties. I simply tell the truth impartially. So then this guy's turned around, because he's got nothing to say, okay, and this is what I love, right? When you debate with somebody and you get them over a barrel and they've got no more, they've got no more ammunition, they then try and attack you personally, okay, to try and discredit you. So here he goes, setting up a bogus and abusive account to try and pretend you're not just a sad troll who's already had their arse metaphorically kicked up and down Douglas Place in this debate. Isn't nearly as clever as you'd obviously like to think it is. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm pretty sure I haven't had my arse metaphorically kicked or physically kicked up and down Douglas Place. I think I've been pretty decent by putting myself out there and trying to get an impartial view on the events. So somebody who's now trying to attack my character because he can't argue with me just goes to show what type of people that we deal with. This guy has actually blocked me. I'm actually on another account of mine looking at these comments because I can't see them on my Police Abusing Powers page. But yeah, just so you know, if you want to come and join me on Twitter, it's at @PAP_YouTube. That's at PAP_YouTube. And then I go on to say, look, by the way, I'm not a Tommy supporter, nor am I a supporter of those that were there on Sunday, who were causing the problems, being obstructive and abusive, covering their faces and then moaning when the police moved them out of the way. And the conversation continued. Somebody else joined in. G says, if it was so peaceful and they're so innocent, why the masks? These are real fascists. Now, I agree with the why wear masks. I agree with that. If you're going somewhere to be peaceful and to demonstrate peacefully, why do you feel the need to cover your faces? If you think about it, people that cover their faces are normally the people that join in riots, who hurt people, attack people, okay? Not people that are there for a peaceful protest. Do you know what I mean? So, G, you're absolutely right. And then this guy, Martin Quirk, says the masked ones were nice people. They didn't plaster my community in swastikas or threaten and give vile abuse to me and my neighbours. That was Tommy Robinson's obnoxious fanboys. They made it all quite obvious to us residents who the real fascists actually were. Well, Martin, I think it's obvious who the real dickhead is here. And it's you, mate. It's you. There was no stickers all over the place. Absolutely no stickers all over the place. Go back through my footage and point out to me where the plastering of stickers were all over your community. Show me. Come and have a look and show me. Don't just talk shit, mate. Back it up with some evidence. I understand people don't like Tommy Robinson, and I understand people don't like Unite or Antifa or Labour or Conservatives or any of the other parties out there. I understand that. But what is the point of lying? What is the point? If your party, if the person that you're putting your trust and faith into is really that good, then why lie about other people? Don't understand it. So anyway, so then we've got this one. One of the officers was just dog's barking. One of the officers was just dragging me by my hair, okay? I simply said, if you're going to fail to move when asked and then struggle when the police try to move you, what do you expect? Police failed at the rally, and they did, and I'll show you why in a minute. And all incidents could have been avoided. Instead, they allowed both sides to be within metres of each other, causing friction. And again, this Martin Quirk, why does your application of the law not apply to Yaxley Lennon's thugs when they threatened residents and blocked the entrance? I've already been over that. They didn't block the entrance. All of Tommy's lot were on the grass. Some of them did wander off, yes, absolutely. But the people who were blocking the roads were Unite, Antifa and whoever else were there, okay? Plain and simply. And there's one more. Councillor O'Byrne has made an official complaint about her treatment by the police as concerning images appear online. So, okay. Well, it looks like some of my tweets have now been deleted, actually. Yes, I did. This tweet is unavailable. I responded to this one, TMC, and what I said to him was, I have coverage of the event if you want to see it. And I said basically that Liam Thorpe Echo needs to get his facts right. Okay. And I said to him, what about the people that were dragged off? What about the people that were throwing bottles? What about the people that were being aggressive? And now he has removed my tweet. He has removed my tweet. Liam Thorpe from the Echo, why bother? Why remove a tweet? Why not debate with people? Okay, you people in the media are fucking idiots. You are idiots, okay? Because you say what you need to say, and then when people then come and question you on your motives, you delete their replies or their questions, or you simply ignore them. Okay, you cherry pick the questions and the questions you want to answer. Everything else you try and sweep under the carpet. How is that unbiased? How is that impartial? How, as a reporter, can you feel good about yourself? I feel good about myself being able to show all sides of this story here, all right? But you, fucking wanker, mate. Anyway, now this is the last part of this video, guys, before I'm going to let you get on. This is where the demonstration was, okay? So let me come out of this. Right, okay, this here is where the event took place. No, not there. Right here. This is where the event took place, okay? This is where the Unite and Antifa supporters were sitting, okay? And this is the road that guy was bitching about in his tweets, saying that the road was being blocked off, all right? Blaming Tommy Robinson's supporters. But my point for showing you this map here, okay, is that this here is where the event took place. This is where all of Tommy Robinson's supporters were standing and waiting for him. Right here, on this bit of corner here, is where they set the monitor up and where Tommy Robinson gave his speech, which, as you saw in my video, I didn't capture that because I'm not turning it into a political thing. I don't support either side, so I'm not going to report. I'm not going to show you what they've got to say. I don't care what they've got to say. What I care about is what's happening around. So that's where it all happened. This here, this Derby Road, this is 4 lanes. 4 lanes, okay? Let's zoom in a touch. 1 lane, 2 lanes, centre reservation, 3 lanes, 4 lanes. Okay. All of this here now is rubble, as you saw in my video. This is the wall that I was standing on. This bus stop and this area here is now all rubble. There was some fence along here where this fence is, some tall fence, thankfully, because otherwise all sorts of bricks and stuff could have been got hold of. But the police allowed the opposition to come all the way here, from here, all the way down here, and fill this area as well, okay? Just meters from where Tommy Robinson supporters were standing. And also all along here on this side of the centre reservation, this, maybe 20 metres away from the grass verge, or less than that maybe. And the police coordinated the event to happen that way. Unite supporters actually came right out to this side of the road at one point, and the police had to go in a line to push them all back. All right, and you can see in my video as the black van comes in with the screen on it, you can see the police all pushing everybody back, where everyone was trying to get in front of the van to obstruct it. My point is this, guys. Why did the police simply not line all their vans up on the central reservation? use this side of the road here, because it was a Sunday, so these businesses were likely closed. So what did the police line out? Police vans up here, down the middle, and allow this side of the road and pavement to be for the opposition to stand on. Okay, lots of room there. Lots of room if you include the road as well. Okay, all the way up they could have been, but no. Merseyside Police purposely coordinated this event so that all of the opposition supporters were within meters of Tommy Robinson supporters. Now, does that make any sense to you? If you use common sense. Said in my other video, 2 kids at school fighting. What do a teacher do? They separate the kids as far apart as possible, okay, to prevent it from happening. But when it comes to something like this, the police have actively allowed the close proximity of all of the supporters. And that tells me something about how politically motivated the police are. But again, it's my opinion. I'm not saying that you should feel the same way. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's entirely up to you, and that's fine. But for me, I feel that the police are politically motivated, and this, the way that this was coordinated was done on purpose for there to be friction, right? But ultimately, and I'm just going to jump down here. Ultimately, this is a very small area, and nobody really came over this wall. The reason for that is because all of this is rubble, it's all been dug up. But this road, this side could have been shut off. This side could have been closed off. This side could have been made into 2-way traffic rather than a dual carriageway. It has been done before. I've lived up in Liverpool for 12 years and I've seen this when they've done roadworks. This gets made into two-way traffic while they work on the other side of the road. But look how much space that they could have had over here. All of the Unite supporters and the Antifa supporters, they had plenty of space there. They would have been far enough away to not be any problems between the two of them. But they would have been close enough to be able to say their piece and still be heard, without there being the chance of the friction that was caused. And all of that was because of Merseyside Police and Chief Constable Andy Cook, who clearly couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. I could have managed this event better, quite easily. I could have managed this event much, much better. And there would have been, I can't say and I wouldn't say that there wouldn't have been any problems, okay? But I reckon that the problems that occurred would have been limited to just a few issues, yeah? The Unite and Antifa wouldn't have been able to block this road off. They wouldn't have been able to jump underneath the van, which was bloody dangerous and stupid. It would have helped, create less friction between the two sides. But I don't know. It just seems, in my opinion, it seems that the police did their coordination of this event on purpose. They should have had a section 60, as far as I'm concerned. Masks shouldn't have been worn. There are people there, there were police there evidence gathering with video cameras looking for troublemakers. So if you're in a situation where you need to have evidence gatherers, then you need to have a section 60 so people can't hide their faces. Just makes sense. Absolutely. So yeah, so that's it guys really for this video. I rattle on a bit, I know. I'm just passionate about what I talk about, and I'm passionate about being honest with you. So just to recap, James Goddard did state that Liverpool's a shithole. I don't think anybody should give a shit about that because it's an opinion, do you know what I mean? So who cares? But obviously some people reacted to it. Councillor Anne O'Byrne making a big fuss about being moved out of the road. She was part of Unite side of the Unite supporters, and she was being obstructive. She was a breach of a section 14 that was imposed, and so she could have been arrested, but she wasn't. She was just moved out of the way. I don't agree with the way that the police officer had hold of that woman's hair. I don't know if that's Anne or not, I don't know. But I don't agree with the way that that officer had hold of that girl's hair. And in my opinion, she should put a claim against the police for that, because it was uncalled for. But moving her out of the road for safety reasons and to stop her causing an obstruction was a legitimate move. If there'd have been as you know, if they were heavy-handed with them, which they were with her hair, and I'll stick up for that, and I'll say they were bang out of order for that. But she was causing an obstruction. It would have been dangerous to leave her in the road. Okay, so they had to move her. I don't stick up for the police, you know that. I think that we all have to live by the same laws and rules. And when I was sitting on the wall, when I walked back over onto the grass after the section 40 was imposed, I could have been told to move back. And there's nothing I could do about it. If I was told to move back and I said no and they arrested me for it, then that's a fair cop. That was a lawful request on behalf of the police. And if I refused that, then I could have been arrested for breaching the Section 14 order. But I think the police, in that respect, were very lenient. But again, I think they were lenient because they wanted friction. I think if that was any other people that was sitting in the street causing a problem, I think they'd have been arrested. I do. If it was any other incident, any other situation other than this, I think they'd have been arrested for sitting in the street. But the police didn't arrest them. So I think Councillor O'Byrne should suck it up and think herself lucky that she didn't get arrested and she only got moved out of the road because she was being a knobhead. But that's it from me for now. Anyway, I'm going to go sit out in the garden. Sun's out. It's a nice blue sky. Dogs want to go out for a little while. So I'm getting out there with them for a bit and I'll come back to do another video. As you would have noticed, I'm not wearing a hat today because I've had my hair cut. It was an absolute mess before, but I've had my hair cut, so I thought I'd leave my hat off today and show you that I do have a head. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Leave us a comment. I'd love to hear your opinions, negative or positive. If we can have a debate without people getting abusive, then brilliant. I'd love to do that with you. So yeah, until next time.
Good night all.